You mentioned Dan Campbell. You mentioned the culture. So I want to wrap it up with this. We're going to do our weekly coaching spotlight with you because I want to talk to you about it. You were there. Okay. So we do it every week, whether it's a moment, whether it's a decision, whatever it is, we want to highlight a coaching staff, a good coaching performance. Today's coaching spotlight is brought to you by Verizon. It's the official private wireless network of the NFL's coach-to-coach communications. And I mean, Dan Campbell would be worth highlighting anyway, obviously, with the success story in Detroit, but it's so poetic and so fitting that in this game that got Detroit to the NFC Championship game, he did classic Dan Campbell stuff, 4th and goal, down on the 1 yard line. You could kick a field goal to go ahead by 3. I think a lot of people thought that was justifiable with the way the Lions were succeeding against Baker Mayfield. Dan Campbell said, absolutely the hell not. We've gotten here by going for it, by being aggressive. And he did it when the chips are on the table. I loved it. I love that he doesn't switch up. And I thought it really set the tone for the Lions having control of this game the rest of the way. What do you think? And what can you speak to about the way that his aggressiveness, his confidence rubs off on his team?
It's so funny because I feel like all of these 4th down situations that we look at, we kind of attribute to the analytics nerds, right? They're like, oh, well, the probability is going to tell you to go for it if it's this distance or that distance or whatever. Dan Campbell does it, but it's not for analytics reasons. It's just because that's who Dan Campbell is. He's aggressive. He knows that that's going to get the building rocking, and it sure did. Let me tell you, when they converted that fourth down and went for it instead of, kind of acquiescing to the field goal, this is what it was going to take to win this game. And this is why this team is so incredibly poised to make this run, is because they do not shy away from aggression. They know that in order to beat other good teams, you're going to have to be aggressive. You're going to have to take some chances. Those chances are going to have to go your way more often than not. But that's not something that Dan Campbell has ever shied away from. And it just got the decibel level in this place all the way up. And it gets your guys behind you, it gets the players behind you, it gets the coaches behind you. When stuff like that works, it works. And so much so that when it doesn't work out, Dan Campbell has now earned the benefit of the doubt, where you would rather have him go for it than not and be conservative, even if it doesn't work out.
I'm highlighting this one decision, but it's just so cool to think of where the Lions were. And I said this on Twitter during the game, people made fun of that speech that he gave when he got hired about biting kneecaps and getting back up. And then lo and behold, the guy went and built that exact team, just like he said. And I think it's really cool that, okay, you built the team, you got here, but then in the big moments, he does not shy away from that ethos at all. I think it's way easier said than done. And I don't know, man, I just think it's really cool.
It is really cool. It makes this team so easy to root for. It makes this team so easy to cover. It's been a joy to cover them over the last couple of years. And again, this is so authentically Dan Campbell. This is who he is. He's going to bite your kneecaps off, and he's going to build the team that's going to bite those kneecaps. And 3 years to the day of when Dan Campbell said that, they have now won their 2nd playoff game inside Ford Field. And Dan Campbell delivered on all of his promises. So how do you not root for a guy like that?